Rappers love flashing their cash, but sometimes they take that way too far. Want to hear all about the insane things they've spent their money on? These are the most ridiculous purchases ever made by rappers. Number 24. Young Buck's own accessories. 12 grand. This is gonna sound insane, but Young Buck really did spend 12 grand buying his own stuff. But you'll be glad to hear that he had a reason. After he was thrown out of G-Unit, it wasn't long before he went bankrupt. The IRA showed up and took pretty much everything he had. But after he made up with 50 Cent, he was able to go down to the auction where all his stuff was being sold to pay off his debts.
No, I never received or made $10 million within my career with G-Unit.
And that's when he started buying things back. But his choices were a little weird. Out of all his possessions, he chose to buy back a fur coat and a jeweled necklace. He claimed one of those purchases was just so he could give it away. But the next purchase was destined to be thrown away. Number 23. Nas and Khalees's engagement grills. 36 grand each. In the early 2000s, Nas and Khalees were one of the biggest couples in hip-hop. But it was in 2004 that they decided to splash some cash to show the world how much they meant to each other.
12, you guys are so times. If you give you the same answer out of 10, okay, so this is 10 out of 12, then we'll do it.
This is the first time.
But it wasn't roses they chose to buy. They went with matching platinum grills to celebrate their engagement. They cost a whopping $36,000 each. That's 72 grand for something they were only seen wearing a handful of times before they disappear forever. I guess that was kinda symbolic of their relationship though. Unlike that weird purchase, the next one on our list at least had some practical purpose. Number 22. Tiny Tempa's nerdy sneakers. $37,500. Some people watching this are going to get their hands on this flashy purchase. In 2011, Tiny Tempa splashed a whopping $37,500 on these Nike Mag Back to the Future sneakers.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
He's getting hard. He's getting serious. Don't look back.
They're an 80 movie fan's dream because they're based on the sneakers worn by the iconic character Marty McFly in the film. But while there are loads of fans out there who will think this purchase was worth it, it's not the kind of thing you'd expect a rapper to buy. But in his defense, he does collect sneakers and it was a charity auction. Buying something in the name of charity is always okay, but what about spending tons of cash on a gift? Number 21. Ludacris's Range Rover gift. $70,000. It's no secret that rappers often spoil their children, but this lavish gift might take that a bit too far. When Ludacris's oldest child, Karma, finally hit her sweet 16, her dad went out and bought her a custom-made Range Rover Evoque. This mind-blowing gift cost him a reported 70 grand. I don't know about you, but that must be a pretty stressful car to learn to drive in.
Biggest hope for my family is for each and every one of them to become entrepreneurs in their own right, live out their dreams of everything that they want to do.
At least the car could be useful. The next purchase on our list might be the most ridiculous ever. Number 20. Nicki Minaj's hair. 75 grand. How much would you pay to have your hair done? Whatever your answer is, it's not as much as Nicki Minaj would pay. It seems like the most insane purchase ever, but she spent an unbelievable $75,000 on her hair. The weave was apparently that expensive because it was made from real hair, sourced from a girl in India who lived the healthiest lifestyle possible to ensure the hair was top quality. I don't know about that. How good can hair be? 75K level good? Probably not. But at least Nicki is a grown woman who can spend her money however she wants. That might not be true for the next purchase on our list, which was literally a child's toy. Number 19. Jay-Z's doll. $80,000. Jay-Z made possibly the most questionable purchase of his life when his daughter, Blue Ivy, reached her first birthday. He went out and bought her a Barbie doll, and it cost him 80 grand. What could have made it that expensive, you ask? Well, it was studded with real diamonds. Do you think a 1-year-old really cares about diamonds? We doubt it. Is it smart to spend that much money on a toy for a baby who won't even remember receiving it? Probably not. If you think that was a crazy purchase, the next one is a pretty similar idea, but it cost even more. Number 18. Games Remote Control Car, $98,400. Game's son Harlem once said to his dad that he wants a car like his when he grows up. Instead of waiting until he was old enough to drive, Game did something different. He took Harlem's remote-controlled Bentley GT down to his jeweler and asked him to embed 150 carats worth of diamonds into the child's toy. The cost of the diamonds was almost 100 grand. Well, just under 98,400. And yes, that does mean he almost could have bought the real thing with that money instead. If I owned that car, I'd never play with it just in case I damaged it. But the next purchase on the list doesn't last forever. Number 17. Lil Romeo's snacks. Unknown. Okay, we lied a little bit. Lil Romeo didn't spend thousands of dollars on snacks, he spent tens of thousands of dollars on a snack company. The brand, called Rap Snacks, bills themselves as the official snack of hip-hop. Lil Romeo became one of the first celebrity faces of the snacks when he got his own flavor of chips, called Barbecuin' with My Honey. After that, I guess he figured he might as well buy the whole company. So he did, and he wasn't even 18 years old yet. Nobody knows how much he paid for it, but the company's making millions, so we're guessing it was $100K minimum. Probably a lot more. Still, even though snacks are a pretty weird thing to spend tens of thousands of dollars on, it might still be the smartest purchase on this list. The next purchase is pretty iconic, but you're gonna question it when you see the price tag. Number 16. Young Jeezy's chain, 100 grand. In 2009, Young Jeezy made a pretty interesting purchase, his USDA chain. Now, we're not stupid. We all know that the USDA stamp means you're certified by the highest authority in the land. And there is no doubt Young Jeezy was making a pretty big statement. But did you know the chain cost him a whopping $100,000? No, we didn't either. At least he got to keep the chain after he bought it. The next purchase on this list was never used by the rapper who bought it. Number 15. 50 Cent's tour bus for Soulja Boy. Unknown. Back in 2009, 50 Cent gave Soulja Boy a gift that would be a dream for any touring musician, a tour bus equipped with a recording studio. This lavish gift was given to Soulja Boy so he could record his next album while on tour. It didn't exactly go to plan, and the album went on to be released a full year after he was given the tour bus. It was also his worst-selling album. But the bus was impressive. There's no word on what it cost, but tour buses can go for 100 grand, and that's without a recording studio fitted inside. So you can bet it came with an eye-watering price tag. There's no doubt that was an amazing gift. The next purchase on our list fits into that category too, but it wasn't made to last. Number 14. Kanye West flowers for Kim, $136,000. We know that flowers are a classic romantic gift. Sure, some women hate flowers, but they're normally a pretty safe bet. That must have been what Kanye was thinking when he went out looking for a gesture of appreciation for Kim, who had just become the mother of his child. But instead of picking up a pretty bouquet, Kanye must have bought every flower he could find, because they cost him an unbelievable 136 grand. Don't try this at home. If you tell your girlfriend you spent over 100 grand on her gift, and it turns out to be ordinary flowers, you can bet she'll be disappointed. Flowers only last a few days. The next purchase on our list is so iconic, it might even outlast the rapper who bought it. Number 13. Lil Wayne's teeth. $150K. Did you know that Lil Wayne's diamond teeth cost him an estimated $150K? We're telling you this up front so you have the chance to decide if they were worth the price tag. Sure, they've become such an important part of his image that we can't imagine him without them anymore, but it's also important to note they're not a grill, they're permanent implants, and that can come with problems. He recently had to go through 8 root canals because of the teeth. Do you think spending $150,000 on something that leads to dental surgery is worth it? You tell me. At least everyone will remember Lil Wayne's teeth for years to come. The same isn't true of the next purchase on our list. Number 12. Kanye West's dining room ceiling. $350,000. Obviously, Kanye was gonna pop up on this list more than once. You might remember that in 2002, Kanye accidentally fell asleep behind the wheel of a rented Lexus, leading to a horrifying car crash that almost took his life. Luckily, he's still here to tell the tale, but he wanted that story told in a slightly more grand style than simply leaving it as an anecdote. So he commissioned the artist Ernie Barnes to paint a recreation of the Sistine Chapel ceiling as a depiction of the car crash. And the painting was installed on his dining room ceiling. Is it weird to remind yourself of one of the worst moments of your life every day by installing a huge painting? Maybe. Is it crazy to spend $350,000 to do it? Yes. On the other hand, art is still considered a good investment. The next item on our list is so out of fashion, it might be worthless. Number 11. Nelly's mink-embellished Rolls-Royce. $395,000. It's not surprising to see rappers in flashy cars, but this might be a step too far. Back in 2004, Nelly splashed some cash on a Rolls-Royce Phantom, and that would have been just fine, but he then had the entire car lined with real mink fur. Sure, some people aren't bothered by fur, but it's mostly frowned upon these days. What's worse is that the finished car came to a grand total of $395K. Is that a smart thing to spend that kind of money on? We'd bet not. The only thing weirder than somebody spending insane amounts of cash on a controversial car is spending your money on something nobody will ever get to see. And that brings us on to the next purchase on our list. Number 10. Drake's Experience Shower. Unknown. Now, yeah, you're probably confused about the term experience shower. Don't worry, you're not alone. But luckily, Drake was kind enough to explain his purchase to the media. An experience shower is a shower, but it has special features like LED lights that can change to any color, 10 carefully positioned water jets, a scent sprayer, and the traditional overhead shower. So, yeah, it really is just a fancy shower. However, we don't know how much it cost him, but some estimates say it could be up to $400,000. If that's true, it's gotta be one of the most ridiculous purchases of all time. Let's go back to something a little more normal, even if it's only normal until you see the price tag. Number 9. T-Pain's chain. $410,000. Most rappers settle for just buying the biggest chain they can get their hands on, but T-Pain's iconic chain confirms its size in writing for all to see. Sure, it's big and sparkly, but it cost him even more money than you'd expect. It came with a whopping $410,000 price tag. That's a lot of money to pay for back problems, which the chain is almost guaranteed to cause. After all, the jewels reportedly weigh 10 pounds. Think that chain was expensive? We can do one better. Number 8. Lil Jon's chain. $500K. As one of the pioneers of crunk music, Lil Jon was determined to show the world how much he believed the genre would last forever. That's how the "Crunk Ain't Dead" chain was born. Unbelievably, the statement chain cost him a shocking $500,000. As if that wasn't bad enough, it was also wrong. Crunk had only about a year left before it died out and the music scene moved on to new trends. That's gotta be a tough pill to swallow. He spent all that money and almost immediately lost his status in the music industry too. Let's move on to a happier story. But be warned, just because it was a nice idea, that doesn't mean it wasn't a stupid purchase. Number 7. Diddy's Maybach gifts. 750 grand. Parents know how good it feels to give your child an amazing gift, but Diddy might have taken it a few steps too far. When his son, Justin Dior Combs, turned 16, Diddy presented him with a car. That's an amazing gift no matter what car it is. But this was no ordinary starter car. It was a Maybach worth 360 grand. As crazy as that sounds, it doesn't stop there. The next year, for his son's 17th, Diddy gifted him another Maybach, one-upping his last gift by making this one a limo. In total, the two cars cost Diddy a whopping $750K. Still, it's nice that he was thinking of his son when he spent all that money. The next person on our list was spending tons of cash on his own birthday. Number 6. Rick Ross's strip club birthday. $1 million. In 2011, Rick Ross decided the best place to celebrate his birthday would be at the King of Diamonds strip club. But he might have decided he wanted to prove to everyone that he was the real King of Diamonds. Because he blew a mind-blowing $1 million in the club that night. At least, that's what the rumors say. He never strictly confirmed it because he was worried about the consequences that might have on his tax bill. We do know he had to get extra money shipped to him halfway through the night, though. In a way, that's exactly what you expect a rapper to do, even if it's a pretty dumb way to spend so much cash. But we still haven't covered the most obvious rapper's expense. The most expensive chain on our list. Number 5. Mike Jones chain. $1 million. Mike Jones went ambitious when coming up with his iconic chain. It's called the Ice Chain. For obvious reasons, it's 100% ice. There's no doubt the medallion is seriously impressive. Sadly, it didn't last. It was stolen from him while he was sleeping over a decade ago.
Man, I was sleeping in my house one day and I woke up and my homie stole it from me, you feel me?
Really?
Yeah.
Luckily, he had insurance, and that's pretty lucky because it cost him $1 million. You can almost justify spending that cash on a flashy statement that the world will talk about. But the next purchase on our list was hidden away. Number 4. Birdman's gold toilet. $1 million. Birdman is known for showing off his money, even by the standards of other rappers. So what does that look like? Well, it looks like a solid gold toilet worth $1 million, which nobody will ever even get to see, except that one time that it was spotted in a video. Does that sound like a good idea to you? Or does it feel a little like he's flushed $1 million down the toilet? A gold toilet is just about the craziest, lavish expense ever. But not all big purchases are made of gold. Just ask number 3, MC Hammer's stable. Unknown. Did you know MC Hammer owned a stable? This was back in 1991, before he went bankrupt. The stable was big enough to accommodate the 19 thoroughbreds he bought, and it came equipped with a 40-person entourage to look after it all. We'll be honest, we don't know how much it cost, but we do know the price of 2 of the horses. He paid $450 grand for the one, and bought another one that same week for $1.2 million. Did you know a horse could cost that much? Neither did we. MC Hammer paid a huge amount of cash for that stable, but he's not the only rapper on this list who bought a weird property. Number 2. Drake's neighbor's house. $2.85 million. This purchase is just as weird as it sounds, but there is a story behind it. You might remember Drake's song, Where Ya At? If you listened to the lyrics, he claims in that song that he'd buy the neighbor's house if they complained about the noise. It turned out he was serious. It wasn't long before he decided to spend an incredible $2.85 million to buy the house next to his mansion after receiving complaints. Is it crazy? Or is it every rapper's dream? Even though this purchase has a weird story behind it, I guess you kind of expect rappers to buy property. You kind of expect them to buy cars too, but that doesn't make this next purchase any less ridiculous. Number 1. Birdman's Maybach, $8 million. And here's Birdman again. Like we said, he's known for being flashy, and this car takes that to the extreme. He already owned one Maybach and other luxury cars, but it turned out one wasn't enough. He wanted a Maybach Accelero, so he got it. The car is impressive. It can reach 0 to 60 in just 4.4 seconds and has a top speed of 218 miles per hour, which is all great until you hear it cost an unbelievable $8 million. Think these purchases are ridiculous? They could only buy those things because they had tons of cash. Want to learn about the smartest rappers out there who held on to their millions? Take a look at this.